Welcome to class. Thanks for hanging in there with me again. If you are interested in piano, lessons, don't forget to go to writeproductions.biz, writeproductions.biz, and go to the RFMFS registration page. So we're hanging in there with the COVID-19. We're learning, and our minds are being stimulated. So, all right, hang on in there for another episode, boys and girls, of piano lessons. Hello, sunshine. How you doing?
How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm hanging in there.
Well, being inside not about to drive you crazy.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Me either.
It doesn't, because I'm usually doing stuff inside anyway. I'm only outside if I really have to, run errands or, if I'm working. But for the most part, I'm okay.
Me too, Robin.
I just
I
try
don't have a problem being in the house.
I don't either. And I'm getting a lot of projects done. It's helping me to focus on some things that I've been meaning to get done, and so on and so forth. So, God will sit us down for a minute so that we can focus, because sometimes we're just all over the place,
That's true.
And in order to get some things done that we're purposed to do, sometimes he got to help us along the way.
Yeah. A hard time with my left hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna happen.
But I think I'm trying to work it out.
Okay. All right. Whoa.
Uh-oh, I missed that one.
No, that was right. Was that your left hand?
That was my right hand.
What was the scale?
That was supposed to be an 8.
You were correct so far.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. No, it was okay. Yeah.
Okay, let me start over. I can get it when I'm not talking to you.
I'm sorry. Let me leave you alone because I'm interrupting.
No, you're not.
It's not you.
Okay, I'm going to start with A. This is
That
C.
was, yeah, okay.
No. See, every time I get...
It's take your time.
That's C.
That's it.
This is D. You know better, Judy. What are you doing?
Look at you chastising yourself.
That's D.
Yeah.
This is E.
Mm-hmm.
This is G.
Yes.
Okay, this is B.
Excellent.
This is A. Did I get it?
Yes, ma'am. You've been practicing, huh? Or am I a distraction sometimes?
Okay, this is G for my left hand.
Okay.
Oh. This is D.
Okay, before you finish with the G scale, you didn't finish on G. You played a C sharp, and a C and a C sharp. So it's one or the other. So when you play your G scale, G, A, B, swing, C, D, E, F sharp, G. That's your sharp. That should be a sharp by itself and then end on G. Sharp, sharp.
When you say sharp, what do you mean?
Black key, F sharp.
I should.
So you're playing an F and an F sharp. You know, if we're going to raise a half step, then we're going to play either note. And in this, with G having that one sharp, which is an F sharp, we're going to raise that F, of course, a half step to the F sharp. So we don't need to play the F. Does that make sense?
So let me try.
So take your time. Yeah. Sharp, sharp. You're playing both the F and the F sharp. Say your notes as you play them. G, A, B, B. E.
Cross.
Play your E. F sharp. Just F sharp. There you go. And G ends it. There you go. So you're putting an extra note in.
I'm putting something extra in there.
You're right. There we go.
I missed that.
That was right. Since you're playing your left hand, you're getting used to the fingering with your left hand. Even though we're playing the same notes that we play with the right hand, it's still an adjustment with placement of your fingers because you're using a hand that you're less familiar with when it comes to scales. So be patient with yourself.
I'll try.
Thank you. How was the practicing of the song for you?
It was okay, I think.
So, but did it feel a little better as was it making more sense in your practicing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So let's start. I lose my place.
You're doing it right. Good. Good.
Okay.
Keep on going.
Let's do it. We're going to go on down to the next one.
Go on to the next line. Good job. Step.
Oh.
So when let's go back to the beginning. The second line is the same as the first line. Remember when we looked at the patterns last week? So you play exactly what you played before, and remember that you're playing in the second measure, love, where it says love. That C, that's a dotted half note. And then we're stepping up, but then what happens in the last one? Are we stepping up or down?
Step down?
Yes, ma'am. So that's, yep. So that's the only variation between those two lines. So let's start the second line again.
Okay.
That's that. Okay, so you skipped. It's a step.
Step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's start over.
Okay. Okay, but it steps. So are you in a second line or first line?
Yeah. Second.
Okay, so that last measure, what is that note where it says true?
That's C.
Right, and you play the E.
Nice.
But that's okay. That's not a bad thing. You did a really good job. Those are things that we're kind of noting now so that as we build our familiarity with the song, we'll remember, okay, well, this is where the pattern changes. Okay, so let's play that second line one more time. Yes. 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 Look a little bit at that third line.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's see what you
Let's
came
try
up
it.
with.
Let's see what happens.
All right now.
Oh, I have to remember these cues.
Excellent. Stepping.
That's wrong.
Actually, did you? I think that's the note. I think you got it together on the second G7. Let's go back to. But you're what I okay. Before we go on this particular line, what do you hear that's familiar? Even though you've switched hands, how is what you're playing now familiar in comparison to what you played in those first two lines? From your ears perspective, from what you're listening to.
I'm not sure, Robbie.
Well, I will tell you, and you probably know this, but wait a minute, don't play yet. It's something I wanted to bring to your attention.
Okay.
If you notice, you're playing the same thing you played before an octave up. This time it's your right hand playing the melody. Your left hand is playing the chords, but it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It sounds the same, it's just a little bit higher, you know. So go ahead. I just I want all your senses to be stimulated when you play your music while we're studying. And that's what we're doing. We're studying. So we're picking things apart. And those are some of the awarenesses that I want you to, to come into play with you. Because your ear, you have a very strong ear. You have a very strong ear. So that was just something I wanted you to see if you had noticed that or not. So continue on, my dear maestro. Step. So look at your right hand. We're playing E, F, G, C. Then we step to the next note, which will be what? After the C.
Yep.
So after C, what comes after C?
E, D.
Mm-hmm. D. Mm-hmm. And what's next?
D.
Uh-huh. And then what comes after that?
Wait a minute. C, D, E.
Right. And that's what you're playing. There's steps. Because remember we said we go line, space, there's steps. If we go space to space or line to line, there's skips. And this whole song, the melody, they're pretty much steps. There isn't any skipping in the melody.
You know what?
Have you noticed
and I wrote that?
Yeah, but have you noticed it?
I wrote
Look at it. If you look at it, it's all steps pretty much, except for when you skip down from and I'll be gone. You'd be like, oh Lord. But so again, with the stepping and the skipping, what we talked about.
Try that line again.
So apply what we just talked about. Even if you have to use your mnemonic devices to confirm or check that you're on that right note. And always your ear is a great indicator of whether something kind of sounds right or not. So let's go ahead and start again with the third row, which is our treble clef playing the melody. Good. Yes. Good job.
Let me try that again.
Okay.
I need to try that one again.
Then come on, try it again then.
Yeah.
Almost finished. We've analyzed this song to death. We've looked at where the repeats are, where the repeat patterns are, what hand is playing melody, what hand is playing chords. So at this point, we're on the last line of the song. So let's look at the pattern before we play it. Let's analyze it real quick. Everything pretty much looks the same, right?
Yeah.
Except for the last two.
D.
Yeah. And then what happens after the D? Is it stepping up or down?
You know. down and you hold it?
Yes, ma'am. You are just brilliant. That is
No,
it.
no,
That
no.
yes, you are. So, with that being said, let's play from what we just analyzed. Let's play what you just, got that last line.
Okay.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent, excellent, yes. You think you can play the whole song?
Huh?
You think you can play the whole song start to finish?
I want to try it.
Now, let me tell you, what that means is if you get hung up, that don't mean we're starting all over. You just get hung up.
And keep going?
Yes, ma'am. So, because if we was in concert, we had to keep on going. Half the time, wouldn't nobody know we messed up. But since we're studying, we'll discuss it as we'll get through it together.
Okay.
So, and don't be extra hard on yourself like you are. You're so extra hard on yourself. Give yourself a break.
Okay.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. I'm proud of you. This is excellent.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Good check. Excellent. Work on this is one of our memory pieces. You did a really good job.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
And also pay attention to page 42 at the top where it talks about slurs and what slurs mean. We've talked about slurs, those lines above the whole phrase. You see the line, not when it's connected as a tie, where we do double the value, but when it's over the notes like that in a phrase, it just means that composer wants you to play it legato. And legato means smoothly connected. Instead of da, 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 it'll go da, 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 with your playing. So you play it as connected as possible, being that you're playing the keyboard. So just take a look at that on page 43. Go ahead and complete it. It says to draw a slur over the notes that are played for the second sentence of the lyrics. Play the right hand counting aloud. Then play the right hand again saying or singing the words. So you get to sing. And then, watch out now, choir. Watch out.
I can't sing.
Don't sit the choir down, trustee.
I cannot sing.
Well, you still, just for the sake of, enjoyment. And then it says to add the chord symbols in the boxes above the treble clef. So you know that the chord symbols are G7 or if they're C. And then it says play with the hands together. So these are nice little exercises for you. It's both theory and application combined. On the bottom, it talks about slurs and ties, which I didn't even know it said that before I gave my spiel on the last page. But they'll want you to read about slurs and ties. Ties, let me give you a hint. If it's a tie, it's the same two notes connected. Slurs usually is different notes. So that's my hint. Now, I'm not going to say nothing else because I want you to think about that later when you do your exercises. We're going to do page 44 together because they're introducing a new chord. The new chord is introducing the F major chord. It's introducing A for the left hand. So we're going to talk about that next week. And then we'll start working on your first song that you're going to play at church when you push the piano player over. And that's going to be when the saints go marching in. So you'll get to slide. You're going to do a Chuck Berry or, one of them people. You're going to slide in and slide them off the bench and go ahead and play with
No,
them.
ma'am.
For the church. Just do it for them. Minister to them, trustee.
Okay.
Okay, you did a really good job, though. And,